Hi Pisces, welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning, welcome to the channel. For those of you who are new, welcome. I am Nicole. It's lovely to have each and every single one of you. So guys, I just want to say thank you real quickly to those of you who have booked personal readings with me and who have donated to the channel. You are greatly, greatly appreciated. So thank you for that. Pisces, this is going to be your October 2023 reading. This will be for your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Venus. Cross watcher, if that is you, welcome to the channel as well. And guys, always, I say it over and over and over again like a broken record, always discern the messages accordingly. So I've been using, you guys are the third sign that I've done in this series of readings, and I'm just going to light some sage here. And I will say I've been using a different deck. Very unique energy coming through. It's very almost abnormal from the typical messages that seem to come out. The energy right now was very, I don't want to say confusing, but it's different. It's very, very different. So with that, we're going to get started. Pisces, when I was sitting here feeling the energy, this full moon period coming Friday, so we're 2 days out, right? This full moon is about our soul's path, our soul's journey. Interestingly enough, I'm seeing though a lot of signs thus far, learning to work with others and then kind of stepping back into this observation mode. With you, I heard we're going to see through this together, something to that effect. I can't remember the exact words that channeled through, but we're going to see how this plays out for you guys. Water signs, you guys are kind of stepping into something very unique and interesting energy. I've got the chills as I say that. You're stepping into something. And Pisces, I will say in the last year plus that I've been reading collectively on YouTube on and off and then more consistent, right? Your energy always seemed to be in some type of upheaval. It seems to be balancing out. And I really like that for you guys. So we'll see what the cards say, right? And go from there. But those are the intuitive feelings that I got attached to what's going on for you right now. So we're going to throw all the cards out on the table instead. So, and guys, if you can't hear me super well, I am trying to talk loud enough, but it's late, it's dark, right? So you may have to pump up that volume just a little bit as I've got a sleeping beauty in the home. So, all right. So bear with me. All right, Spirit for Pisces. What does Pisces need to know? Pisces, what does Pisces need to know for October 2023? Awakening your true self. Pisces, I get this, like, there's like this fire kind of energy that's popping out. So it's like this get up and go, like we're going to make shit happen. We're going to make things be fluid and flow and be in a space of movement, right? All right. Oh, there's a lot of them. Okay, we're going to put these in here. Some of you could be healing or taking time out from a partnership as well. Okay, they keep throwing me a bunch of them for you guys. I'm going to put these back in again. All right, for Pisces, Spirit, just one card, please. There we go. Miracle healing. I don't think that you guys ever thought you would get to this place, especially for those of you, there's that beauty again, especially for those of you who have really had it rough the past couple of years. I'm going to say the last 2 years have been a little intense and highs and lows all the time. I don't think you thought you were going to get here. And this beauty to me is about the self, right? And I'm glad to see that because that's the full moon energy that we're in. And I'm not surprised to see it. But you're starting to take better care of you. What I think is really interesting is she looks kind of peaked, right? And in order to see your true beauty, you have to have that self-care. You have to work on you, whether it's by diet, exercise, doing the little things, you know, ladies painting your nails, gentlemen, you know, grooming the beard, whatever, right? You've got to have that freedom to care for yourself, right? You're not pouring from that empty vessel. With this awakening your true self, peacock feathers could be very important. And I want to be honest with you, I can't remember off the top of my head the spiritual meaning of a peacock, but it too, this I do know, is about the beauty within and the beauty without. So, or outside of you. It is also about allowing your emotions to be heard from within as well. So this is very much finding this detailed part of you. And what I like about this is we've got an abalone shell and the conch shell on this card with some other seashells. A lot of water energy coming through, a little bit of air and a little bit of earth energy coming through as well, right? She's playing with all of these energies. So it's kind of like, not that you've mastered everything, but you're playing with everything that's coming into, or coming in for you, so that you can incorporate those things. It kind of gives me the magician vibes of, you've got all those tools, right? You've got a little bit of everything to do what it is that you need to do to manifest your way forward. And this is kind of like starting off with a clearer perception, a clearer identity of who you are, moving into a new space, right? We're always making shifts, we're always making moves. And that's really, like, I feel like there's a lot of beauty. And Spirit is even saying beauty that you are seeing in the world around you. So maybe where you thought things were lacking, are difficult, hard, gray, dark, right? You're starting to see that everything is not as you perceived it to be, or you're finding the simple places of gratitude that are opening you up into this space of healing, this miracle healing. It's almost like you're gingerly touching. It's like touching upon so many areas. And as you're having these interactions, whether it's within the self, an awareness within you and outside of you, and you're coming into contact with different areas, it's like each touch, each part of something that you're involving yourself in is bringing an awareness that is allowing you to do this healing work. It's a very soft energy. It's a very light energy. And I also feel like it feels like to you, excuse me, you're gaining freedom. So with each part of different areas of your life that you're working on or working towards, you're finding comfort in the presence, really, right? It's that awareness and being present in the moment. But it's like you're doing it without giving it thought. You're doing it without intentionally doing it, and then you're going home or sitting down for a moment. It could be something as simple as just sitting there looking at your children and watching them play and getting teary-eyed, going, boy, they're growing up. I love these moments though, right? It's something very simplistic, and that's creating this healing, and it's finding gratitude in those small moments that is bringing this energy in without you having to force it at all. So it's kind of like you feel like the load is, it's kind of like putting your burdens down. 10 of Wands, laying those burdens down, moving on. So, excuse me, abundance comes rolling in. This abundance, Pisces, I'm going to be completely honest, I think is pertaining to your own growth. Not so much finances as we would often like to think, but like it's also understanding how valuable you truly are. How these parts of you that maybe were downplayed in the past, you didn't give a whole lot of thought to, of who you were and what you brought to the table. Now you're starting to recognize that, if somebody spent 20 years telling you that you weren't worth a shit, you could have this one interaction with somebody that says something to you along the lines of, you made me feel special today, or you look really nice, or whatever, right? And that sticks with you. And those little moments, again, are creating this healing energy that it's like you're no longer resisting this energy that's coming in for you. So where you may have had a blockade up, trying to ward that off and not trusting, all of a sudden you're like, okay, that felt really nice, and I liked that, and I can be a little more vulnerable in who I am. So I do feel like that abundance is coming in ways where you have lacked. Again, I'm really saying those last two to 3 years. For some of you, it could have been only a year out, but it seems like it's been like the longest year of your life kind of feeling. So celebrate these miracles that are happening, these healing miracles that are happening. It is cause for celebration. It is cause for rejoice. And again, Pisces, it's like, I don't know if it's like the fall time is important to you, but it's like you're sitting in this space of watching the world change. So if you're in an area where the leaves are changing and things like that right now, you're taking solace in that. In Pisces, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Let me think for a second here. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Virgo. So Virgo is going to be your complete opposite. I had to stop and think in my head for a second. Geez, it's late. My brain is done for the day. But that could have been, and Virgo season seemed to be a very big pivotal point for a lot of us, right? So it's kind of like opposite your sign being Virgo. That's when this release, and that's what Spirit was bringing to me, was the opposite of you, that it was time to start to release. And what do we have behind that? Miracles. That was what was waiting on the other side of this. So whatever Virgo season brought in for you, it was, I don't know if you just gave up and didn't give a shit anymore. It's kind of how it feels like. I just don't even care. I don't even care anymore. Like, I just want to be happy is how this feels. And this miracle healing, along with the miracles right here, third in the deck, that you had to release so that you could kind of like, it was like a 3-step process is what they're giving me, a 3-step process. And you had to make that choice. So for those of you who made a choice to start to step into this lighthearted energy, more carefree, in Spirit saying you're more resilient now than you've ever been too. It's in that peace, there's that dove, right? That dove is a representation of purity and peace. What I like about it though is it's blue in this deck, but it is cause for celebration. And I think the big thing is you're starting to memorialize to yourself. It doesn't have to be a grandiose, like walk out on stage, yahoo kind of moment. You're finding abundance in the simplicity of life, and you're learning how to celebrate those moments rather than expecting like fireworks for every moment that you felt was important. You're falling into the simplicity of that. So I really enjoy this energy for you guys. All right, let's dive in. 12. The number 12 could be very important to you too. That 3 breaks down, maybe, I talked about in the beginning, it's like working with somebody or something and we're going to get this done, or however I worded it. I can't remember now already. But working on that process, right? I keep looking back to this bun in the abundance for some reason. And to me, like, it makes me think like bun in the oven, but I don't feel that that's necessarily the case. It could be for some of you. But that bun in the oven kind of feeling, I feel like it's a new you that's being born. It's a new you learning how to dance with the miracles of life. Learning to be in a state of flow and harmony that just allows you to just kind of go with it and dive into it, and you're just allowing it to be. So I like it. I really like it. Lately, Spirit has been pointing out letters to me on the cards. It's been some different energy. I've noticed over the years in different decks that they pop up in different ways in different time frames. It's crazy. Yeah, 3 of Swords. You were done. Underlying, is tired of racking your brain. And I talked about that trust earlier, right? That 5 of Swords tends to refer to deceit, trust, self-sabotage, taking things that don't belong to us or others taking from us that we didn't have to give, creating pain, heartbreak, destroying our feelings and our mental capacities. And that destroys our trust. And I feel like for you, Pisces, you really had a hard time trusting, whether it was people around you or even yourself. And I'm gonna give you like a life lesson here real fast, right? We spend so much time in our lives putting trust and faith into other people and looking for validation externally that we fail to trust ourselves. We don't even trust ourselves because we've had a bad experience. We picked the wrong person, or whatever it might have been, we misjudged or mischaracterized a person or job or whatever. And we learned how not to trust ourselves. And I feel that trust was kind of like, you didn't even trust you. You didn't trust what you've seen. You didn't trust what you knew. You didn't, what you thought you knew. You didn't trust the people around you. It was very much like living in your own world, in your own bubble. It's watching the world kind of just spin all the time, right? was it the soap opera As the World Turns. That's an old one. Like, there you go. I'm showing my age. I don't know if it's still on TV or not. But there you go. But that's kind of how it felt. Like, you're just kind of sitting there watching it all go on, and you're just like, I'm watching all these things, and I've had these experiences, and I don't even trust myself to make a proper decision anymore. And I feel like all of a sudden you are feeling renewed as October goes by. So the third week of October too, they're saying, is going to be very important for you. They're using the word encounter. So third week of October, look, it came back out. The third week of October, an encounter is what they're seeing. But I just say, you didn't trust yourself. High Priestess in the reverse pops out over that miracle healing. To me, it is you, learning to trust. There it is, right? She is the keeper of secrets, but we also have to listen to our higher self, our intuition. Heartbreak is not feeling ourself, right? Like, not allowing what's coming through, and then closing ourselves off to it, because we don't trust ourselves anymore. We don't trust the other people, that partnership energy, right? 3, external circumstances, other people around us. But I also feel like there was a push to keep going with that initial message that came out. Jeez Louise, if I could talk. Spirit, what else does Pisces need to know here? 8 of Cups, I think that was just what just tried to come out, and come out anyhow. 8 of Cups, finally walking away from the unresolved pain and the unresolved matters of trust. Learning to see that on the other side of this shit is the sun. I'm really being drawn to that bowl with that fire in it. I'm going to reiterate to you guys, full moon is this week. It is Friday. I don't even know what today's date is. So that'd be the 29th. So Friday the 29th. 24 hours beforehand, 24 hours after, to really utilize that power of this last super moon we have in 2023. This to me is write down the footprints and the scars of what this past cycle was for you, because I feel like it's time to burn that. They're also saying pictures. So if you're holding on to a picture of the past that maybe for a very long time held sentiment to you, don't let me tell you to get rid of your sentimental items. But for somebody out there, burning a picture or something, like, okay, I've held on to you long enough. And it seems this could have been, you could be like 50 years old, and this could be your high school sweetheart that's no longer, in existence for all I know, right? Like that kind of energy. And just finally learning to let that go. But it's like, or this picture could be mental, right? Burning away the mental thoughts and like reprogramming the brain. Ho'oponopono is also a great way to release, heal, and forgive things as well. But I do feel like now is a good time to write down, journal, draw, whatever it is for you that works, whatever your creative process is. And under this full moon, it's time to release that. It really is time to put a final nail in the coffin, as we would say, right? So that you can move on. I think it was Cancer's reading. I said a curtain call. It's the end, right? Kind of like the same thing, because you look at the outside of this image, you see it's like the curtains are coming in, right? They're being pulled, they're being drawn. And it's like, I'm off into the sunset. I'm off to find my gloriness and my happiness and the things that brighten my world. I'm coming out of the dark. I'm coming out of the shadows. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. Pisces, I got the goosebumps so bad. That's always my confirmation. It's coming. You're there. Like, I think whatever this... what I call encounter 2 to 3 weeks into October, that might be the final nail in the coffin as well. Like, that might bring in some type of closure for you guys. But it's, gosh, that's what the beginning of Scorpio season just about. So like cusping that time frame, the end of Libra, beginning of Scorpio seasons. I've got the chills so bad. Oh my. 9 of Wands. It's been, I feel like you ever see, and I don't know what they call them, the like the runners, and they leap over the hurdles, right? Like that's what I'm getting with this, is that wounded warrior. But it's like, but you kept going, you kept jumping those hurdles, even if it meant like you fallen flat on your face and you got up and you did it again, you know. But this is also about those lessons, those bruises and those scars and those bumps along the way lit your path, and you're lighting your own path again moving forward as you move through this. That trusting, you're free falling into wrapping this era up. That 9 is almost that 10, right? Like I said, you're right there. That third week could be very important. You're right there. You're on the precipice. I feel like Scorps jumped the threshold, or went through a threshold, and you guys, you're on the precipice of that. You may feel like your broad shoulders that have taken the brunt, they're tired, they're weak, they need a reprieve. For Pisces, please. Healing, more healing, Pisces. Look at that. That internal healing, that self-love, that nurturing, that care. For some of you, you could be spending a lot of time at home, getting some extra rest. I also feel like with this High Priestess in reverse, for whatever reason, it's giving me the sense of you giving yourself compassion. Like where you might have been up at night and stressed out and worried in the past, you've really turned it around. You went a whole 180, and it's like, I can finally sleep at night. And Spirit is also saying this might even come after the full moon, but it's coming. It's right there. The work that I see you putting in as you start to really transmute the pain and the hurt from the past, it really is healing those wounds, those open wounds, those gashes. And when it covers over, you're still going to have those scars, right? If you were to look at it like an actual wound, you're likely to have a scar. But Spirit is saying those scars prove how deeply you loved. They proved how much you cared in your own right. It's nothing to be ashamed of. So this is very much about you, Pisces. You can't make it up. There's that completion. There's that World card. You are closing this out. You are mastering your healing. It's like you're working with all the elements. Again, I'm getting this elemental energy of you working with every avenue, every pentacle, every sword, every cup, every wand. You're working with every single one of these. And I'm going to tell you to be mindful, because I don't feel like this is your energy on the bottom. Be mindful. Spirit is saying that the torch of that agony that you were in has been passed. It could be passed on to something or someone else, or maybe another sign. Maybe it's their turn. I don't know, right? But you also knew that your time in dealing with this was up. It wasn't yours to deal with anymore. And it is releasing you, but as it's releasing you, you could also just be dealing with somebody else in your own life where this is now what was your version of life is now somebody else's, and you're able to see this. This hair is crazy. They may come at you a little sideways, trying to keep you stuck. Don't let them do that to you. That's them. That's not you anymore. And you don't want to interfere in someone else's karma. Like, you don't want to get involved in other people's messy shit. So you don't want to take on their stuff. So let it go. But they do come in kind of calculated and cold. And they could probably be a bit cocky about how they say things or do things or communicate things. And it's like they could say that one wrong word and it kind of starts to send you back into this place. But I don't feel like maybe in the past you've given it a lot of those things, a lot of thought and attention. I don't feel like you're hanging out in that. Like, you're recognizing that there's a pain within that person that's causing them to behave this way. And it's not your burden to bear. Like, you've hit that 9, that 10 has been there for a long time. You just kind of hung out in that 9 of, I'm gonna get over these 15 I don't know why 15 hurdles. So it could be codependency, right? Toxic, that's the devil's energy. But I'm not gonna stay there anymore. Like, I deserve more than this in life. And I think that's fantastic, Pisces. Good stuff, good stuff. All right, let's get you guys some advice and we're gonna wrap this up. And this gal's going to bed. And I'm done. It's been a long, long ass day. All right, Pisces. The Spirit's saying the water and the shores are calmer. Like, you can see, it's like looking in the bathroom mirror when it's foggy and you can never see yourself. And then one day you pick your head up and the bathroom mirror is not foggy anymore. Terrible analogy, but it's one after all. And looking yourself in the eye. Like, finally seeing you, seeing the clear picture of who you actually are, not muddled in everybody else's stuff or the experiences that you've had to date. You're not letting that take shape, or that shape of that take hold of you that's going to knock you off course. And I'm hearing from Spirit, some of you are just like, I've wasted so much time on this. I've wasted so much time to somebody else, giving to somebody else. I can't do that anymore. I don't want to do that anymore. It's not for me. This is not how I envisioned my life. This is not the way I want to be or live or exist or set the example for my children or the other people to come or the people around me. It's not where I'm at anymore. And Pisces, you feel like you're doing it in such a... It feels so small, but it's so damn big. Like, you wake up one day and you're like, I don't even know how I got to feel this good, but I'm going to take it. I didn't even have to have coffee this morning. I feel good. Like, if you get there, tell me your secret, please. But this is about celebrating you. And that's when you get to a place of that kind of self-love, that you can just be happy in the moment, that you can just be happy with yourself. That's something that is I think one of the most invaluable things we'll ever experience. Because a lot of people in this life don't ever wake up to that. So, all right, just a little side note there. All right, Pisces, what is the advice? Okay, well, we can't take that many. That's too many. Too many. My hands are too small for these big ass cards, but I love this deck. So this is the Light Workers. Hold that. Where is my book? Hold that. There it is. Hold on. Let me grab it. Hang on a second. Yes, I'm gonna give you my interpretation and give you the book definition of the Light Workers Oracle. For Pisces, please, Spirit, what is Pisces advice for the month of October? What is Pisces advice for the month of October? These cards, they're good card stock. They don't ever want to, they're still good and tight there. All right. Light Workers Oracle. Initiation by water and dark night of the soul. You've been through it, Pisces. You have been through it. No denying that one. For Pisces, please, Spirit, one card for Pisces. You know, here's the interesting thing. When I said to you about it, I'm going to take both of these. I'm just going to read them both to you. The hell with it. I said about the elemental energy, and what caught my attention, and I probably should have said it because you're not going to be like, did you really? But sometimes I feel like, I wish I would have said that, because here it is again. You see, maybe, the lighting. You see that Merkaba right there, right? There it is. Number 25, Merkaba, spiritual protection. There she is. There you go. And then, so 25 breaks down to a 7. And then you've got 36, reassurance of the golden light. And I'll show you that card, right? Beautiful, beautiful cards. So, Pisces, what I'm getting from this, again, you are working with every element that there is. I talked about it in the beginning, that magician energy, opening yourself up, realizing you are at a new start. The world is your oyster. You can do anything. But it's like your higher self, and again, massive goosebumps across me. Your higher self is looking down at you in this 3D realm and going, I'm so glad that you finally are meeting you. So you Pisces meet Pisces. It's that mirror. That's that shadow. That is shadow work. The reassurance of the golden light. You are divinely blessed. You are divinely protected. And the second that you chose to let go of control and free yourself up, they're coming in. It's like as soon as you go, okay, I'm ready. They're like, here, whoosh, let me just wash you in all of these things that you've been missing. Meditation, some candle work as well. Right now, you could be lighting candles, may need to light candles over this full moon. Pisces, this full moon, very, very, very potent for you. Utilize it. Take time out for yourself. Sit, meditate, ask your guides for direction if you're not sure. Just ask them to hear the cries of your heart, the cries of your soul. Allow that abundance to flow in, okay? So I'm going to read both of these to you guys. Those are my interpretations, my intuitive interpretation. All right, so the Merkaba, spiritual protection. Being open to receive is a way to gain empowerment, strength, and all manner of assistance. To enhance receptivity, it can be helpful to declutter and cleanse your energy field. This allows for that which is not rightfully yours to be shed. Sometimes this will include the disowned thoughts and feelings of others. Told you, right? There we go. When you release these thoughts and feelings, a spaciousness will grow within you. Then you can then receive more of what is rightfully meant to be for you, your divine good in all ways. An open, sensitive person can easily become energetically overloaded. From physical pain to emotional and psychological tension, an overload does not feel good. You may feel like you are carrying others on your back or in your head. The added weight, talked about that 10 of Wands, the 9 of Wands, the added weight can drag you your naturally light vibration down into anguish, doubt, fear, or despair. Your inner vision too may be obscured by the overload. That can make it hard to discern what is yours and what belongs to another. Whether experiencing overload to your system is an unusual occurrence for you, or you have the tendency to absorb and process others' energies, common for healers, psychics, and mediums, artists, and other sensitive, open people, you will benefit from a spiritual cleansing. There's that full moon work, right? Afterwards, you may feel less inclined to connect with particular people or work on certain ideas, even if they seemed very important before the cleanse. This means that you are freeing yourself from others' input and discerning the true priorities of your own heart. To accept a spiritual cleansing now, repeat the invocation below, and then relax for as long as you need. With the oracle card resting face down over any part of your body that you intuitively feel you can use spiritual cleansing. Spirit's saying use your hands. Your hands are the Reiki centers, right? You're using the Reiki, the palm chakras, not the Reiki, the palm chakras of your hands. So if it's your heart that needs healing, hold that space. If it's your third eye, space. If your head feels tense, use it as space. Our hands, and I'm going to take a moment just to say this to you. I've used this example for so long, and with so many clients of mine. I tell them, if you get up from are you supposed to think or feel first? And I ask them, if you get up from the table from sitting with me and you bang your knee, what's the first thing you do? And 95% of people will say, I say, ouch. Do you? Yeah, we do. But the first thing we do without even realizing, and there's that stuff, like you don't even realize you're healing. You don't realize that your hand starts to make a movement before the word ouch ever comes out your mouth, because we're meant to feel the energy before we think. It's to trust our intuitions, to trust yourself that goes, oh, wait a second, this doesn't feel right to me. And then we can logically go, why doesn't this make sense? Or ask our guides why this doesn't make sense to us, to guide us further, right? But it's all about the vibrational energy, and the vibrational energy is the feeling. Pay attention to that. And I'll probably use that example, a million more times between now and whenever. But anyhow, You can repeat this process daily for 3 days or up to 3 weeks. When I tell you three weeks, right? That 3 was very heavy. 3 days, 3 weeks, there you go. And then we have the 3-day period over the full moon. I would say to you, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, there's your 3. Use it. Pisces, this is probably the longest reading I've ever done for you guys. But use that energy for those 3 days. Do it 3 days in a row. Deep, deep, deep cleanse. You can rest. Your rest can be for several minutes or up to a half an hour or more. If you fall asleep during your cleanse, that can allow for even deeper clearing. Pay particular attention to what you sense immediately after your cleansing. It is a time you may become very aware of just who or what has been draining you and be able to lovingly but firmly say, you must leave my energy field now and not return without my express verbal permission. Of my own free will, so be it. This oracle is also confirmation for those who have been questioning if a relationship, person, or situation has been draining you or transferring negative energies or thoughts into your energy field. Your insights are correct, and you can now use this energy clearing process to remove the cords of attachment and release any negative energy from that person or situation. And you guys can go back and I'm gonna read this invocation, and actually do I have a pen here? I'm gonna timestamp that for you guys. So that way, so we'll say 36:25 we'll go with. Okay, I'm gonna timestamp that invocation. So that way you guys can go back and pull it up if you want to, right there in the middle of that part. So you can do that invocation, and I can't ever say it right. If you want to go back and listen to that particular part of this video, then that way you can use that for those next 3 days. But the invocation is, I call upon unconditionally loving divine protection. The sacred chamber of light, the Merkaba of divine light, is around me now. I choose of my own free will, under divine authority and grace, to release any and all connections, content, and contaminants that do not serve me through unconditional love. I choose of my own free will to take my life journey in the most joyful and loving way possible. I open to divine grace for cleansing and protection of my integrity at all times. I am free to simply be in the truth of me. May all beings be blessed and protected. May all beings be happy and free. Through my own free will, so be it. So you guys can go back and listen to that again if you want to do that. But I really do think it's going to be very valuable to you. And then number 36, the reassurance of the golden light. This golden light comes to you as a gift of grace and reassurance. It is an embrace from the universe, an expression of divine comfort, and a sign of hope. When the golden light appears, it is a sign that everything in your life, even the most troubling matters, is going to work out perfectly. They are held in the graceful hand of the divine and will be resolved more swiftly and beautifully than you might expect. The golden light is a very real phenomenon, although you may only perceive it when you are particularly relaxed and your clairvoyance is already developed. However, whether you see it physically or not, it is real and powerful. If you could see it clairvoyantly, it would look similar to the golden rays of the sun setting. The same warm, loving glow is cast over your heart and mind when the golden light is shining upon you. If you are in a room, when it comes upon you, you will wonder if a light has been switched, as the glow is as noticeable as if a lamp had been placed in your room, its warmth illuminating the space. In truth, grace and divine assistance are always there for the asking, but there are times when we are in need of extra support. During such times, ironically enough, we can forget to ask for help. Perhaps you are struggling with a particularly difficult time in an initiation or a challenging choice that lies before you. Or maybe you have taken a leap and just need to know that you are doing the right thing, and somehow, even though you don't feel in control of what is happening, it is all going to work out. I'm going to say that 3-week period, that 3rd week of October, I think that's when I feel like that's what it's referencing, put it that way. So when the golden light is given to you, it is freely done so as a gift from the heart of the universe. It is letting you know that you are a child of the universe and you are dearly loved. It is reminding you that on the path, the struggle to continue with trust, patience, faith, and courage can seem almost overwhelming. However, the universe is with you, supporting, loving, and believing in you every step of the way. You are not alone. You are never forgotten. You are always loved and encouraged to take your journey. You are reminded that the universe is smiling upon you. There are times when you will call upon the golden light because you know that you are in need of that loving consciousness, and it is appropriate that you do this. You can use the invocation below. There are times, however, when you will just feel, sense, see, or know that the golden light is being given to you as a spiritual gift from the universe. Such is the case now, as you have been drawn to this oracle. You are being asked to just feel peace. Trust. Know that everything is working out perfectly and you don't have to worry, even though you don't know why you should possibly feel that way. The golden light is wisdom and love. It knows, and sometimes that's all you need to know in order to be at peace. Longest reading ever for Pisces right there. You guys are so welcome. There's a lot of information in that. But, you know, there's times that other Taurus is always the one getting their ass. Like these 1 hour messages going, get it together, Taurus, right? So Pisces, you know, loving message for you guys tonight. I like this for you. Abundance. Life on life's terms, right? Like, beautiful. I love this for you. I'll put that invocation in the comments, probably. Check that out if you want to use that over this full moon period. Any way I can help you guys. Think it's awesome. For those of you, if you found this video resonated, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, share the channel, which is super cool. Feel free to comment as well. If you are interested in a personal reading, that information can be found in the description box below, as well as the about section of the page. Or you can go to holisticallyzenwv.com for a full list of products and services, and it's another great way to reach out to me, very simple and convenient. So, all right, Pisces, that's your messages for tonight. Thanks for your time. Thanks for tuning in to me and making time for me in your day. Hope you found these messages help you, and I will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.